Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Southampton. As you can see, off the back of winning the FA Cup at the end of last season, we're heading into season 5 today, kicking off a new season with the Saints as we look to take the steps to build this squad into a Premier League and Champions League side. As you can see on screen, third place finish in the Premier League last year, winners of the FA Cup, but defeated in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup and most importantly, the Champions League. I want to get further next season and I want to compete even closer for that Premier League title. So heading into season 5, we've got loads to crack on with. Well, as we jump into the new season, we are going to see a couple of departures. A few of the youth lads are heading out on loan, and the most noteworthy one is Ben Brereton Diaz, one of the Season 1 OGs, departing to join Leeds United. But as we head into Season 5, what sort of budget are we working with this year, Southampton board? What are you going to give me? 225 million. Well, with inflation and the Champions League money back to back, it doesn't surprise me too much. The transfer budgets just go crazy in career mode nowadays, and with big budgets come big expectations. The board were pretty lenient last year. They just wanted us to finish in a top 4 position and reach I think it was the semi-finals of the Champions League. This year they want me to reach the final, not win it, just get to the final. As for the domestic, they want me to win the FA Cup and the Premier League, so a domestic double and reaching the final of the Champions League in just our second year in the competition. As I say, with big budgets come big objectives and big responsibility. The board expecting trophies this year. And as we sim through to the second day of the calendar, as I say, we see 3 youth players leave on loan and Brereton Diaz joins Leeds on a free. So if we take a look at the squad, it's going to be pretty large. So yeah, I was happy with the squad size last year. I just think we need to kind of bring in some star players, and that will help with the depth on the bench and in the reserves, our sort of quality in depth. So with all of our back 4 on international duty at the moment, that's quite cool to see. Yeah, I think we're just going to jump straight into it. I'm going to be pretty ruthless with the players that stay and the players that leave, and then yeah, we'll look to bring in some real star quality for the first 11. Do you know what? It's been bugging me since last summer. I've had this task to negotiate with Corbelis. I accidentally accepted an offer, a swap deal, and I've just had this negotiate with Corbelis stuck here for months. So I'm going to see, first of all, and no, I'm not going to sign him, but I'm going to see if I negotiate and then walk out, whether it's going to get rid of that task, because it's driving me mad having that every time I'm advancing. Well, as we reject this bid for Taylor Harwood-Bellis, I should say as well, guys, with the 3 transfer listed players that we've got, they have handed in transfer requests, but I'm just going to be keeping them here once again unless I decide to sell. As we head into the squad hub, let's just quickly run through, because I know we've got a lot of contracts to give out as well. There were a few players that I thought might potentially be retiring. Doesn't look like Kimpembe is, so we can't remove him from the transfer list. Van Dijk's still got 2 years left on his contract, so neither of those two retiring just yet. But as I say, we've got a lot of contracts to sort out, which I guess I will have to do straight away. That seems like a good thing to deal with first off, but don't think we've actually got anyone retiring, as Lewis Turner comes back with potential to be special. You love to see that. But yeah, still got some players out on loan, lots and lots of contracts to sort out, but actually nobody retiring at the end of this season, as I thought we might be losing one of our centre backs. So guys, sorry, I'm trying to sort my priorities out here. I'm just going to go through who we've got transfer listed. Obviously Van Dijk, Kimpembe and Harwood-Bellis are there of their own accord. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Kimpembe and Van Dijk. The players that I'm going to look to shift on, Larios, I just don't think he's ever gonna make it. Ilya Gruev, we've now sort of surpassed his level. He's a decent squad player, same as Suleimana, but we can do better than them, so gonna look to shift them on to bring in some funds. Hodgson, I'm gonna try and loan out once again. He's got such a strange face, man, but yeah, not quite good enough yet, so we'll look to loan him out again. Hugh Sharp's come back from loan, but we've got way better players in the wide areas, so going to look to sell him on. And Don Ballard as well. Again, similar thing. He's a decent young player, still only 23 years of age, but he's just never going to make it. Not in this squad anyway, so we'll look to sell him on. And Connor Cox, as discussed in the season finale, I'm going to look to loan him out once again to get him some more game time. But what I am going to do, I think, is make my first move of the summer. I've just spent a bit of time going through the free agents pool. And in midfield, there are a few names on there. We've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, of course, a former Southampton man. We have had him, I think, twice in the save. We brought him in on loan. He's now available on a free if we wanted to pick him up. But the other man that I'm looking at, Andre Frank Zambo-Anguissa, of course, spent some time in the Premier League with Fulham, moved on to Napoli and did really well in Naples. And he's still pretty decent physically. He's got good mental stats, good technical and defensive stats, and I'm thinking as someone to step in as a squad player, especially for Yusuf and Diashime, I think he'd be a really good pickup to play that slightly deeper centre half role. So I'm going to see if I can bring him in on a free. Yeah, obviously we've not got a scout report, so it's quite difficult to know how good he is. Only wants a rotation squad role. But yeah, I quite like this guy. I like his aesthetic and everything. So I'm going to give him a 2-year contract, tie him down. But I've no idea how much money he's going to want. Okay, I'm glad he has come in with the sort of initial, I wouldn't say bid, but the initial sort of quote, I would say. We'll go to 50 grand a week. He's an experienced player who's played at the top level, and Zambo-Anguissa becomes our first summer signing. Can never turn down a good freebie. So as Anguissa comes in, he's still 80 overall. Yes, he's into his 30s, but I think it'll take a little bit of time before we start seeing him start to decrease. And he's pretty solid across the board. He's not great going forward, but defensively, he's pretty solid. He's a bit of a physical monster still. I love the 92 stamina, and he's pretty quick as well. I quite like that signing, you know. He's a better player than Smallbone. He's a better player than Gruev. And I think he fits in really nicely playing in that Yusuf and Diashime role. We're just about to see Yusuf go up a rating in about a month's time as well. So yeah, I think bringing in Zambo-Anguissa is a really good pickup on a free. Yeah, we've got a lot of first team players here with their deals up at the end of the season. I think I'm going to start with the youngsters Kai Vaughan and Matthew Hodgson and Elliot Cole, those 3 youth academy lads. And then as for the rest of these guys, I think most of them are going to get new deals, to be fair. So I've just offered the 3 youth academy lads new deals. Matthew Hodgson signs a 4-year, 25 grand a week contract. Kai Vaughan, pretty similar, 25 grand a week, 3-year contract. And for Elliot Cole, I think this lad could be a real star. The baby-faced assassin signing a 4-year, 35 grand a week contract. Man, what a gig as a young teenage lad. But yeah, I do think he will get some football this season. As for the players left with their deals up, I think Muric, Yusuf, definitely Stein, and yeah, probably those 3, and St. Maximan. We definitely want to tie those guys down to new deals. Stein in his prime, St. Maximan, Yusuf and Muric around their 30s, but integral parts of the squad. So let's make sure all 4 of those are given new contracts. Well, another 3 contracts have just gone out to the 3 really important players that we needed to tie down. So Muric, 3-year contract for him on 85 grand a week. He's a treble winner of the Golden Glove 3 years in a row, and he set the record for most clean sheets in a Premier League season. Yusuf, so important in the heart of that midfield. He signs a new 3-year, 65 grand a week deal. And for Sem Stein, a 4-year deal on 85 grand, making him one of our most well-paid players at the club. But that's how important he is for this team. We've still got a few players left with their deals up. Ballard and Sharp are going to be sold in the summer, so we'll leave them. But as for Kimpembe, Smallbone, JWP and St. Maximan, I'm not too sure what to do. I think JWP and Kimpembe might get new 1-year deals, and for Smallbone and St. Maximan, I think they will both get 2-year deals. So yeah, let's go and sort them out now. I just want to get this sorted so that we don't have any issues moving forward. So another batch of 3 contracts sorted. JWP signs a 1-year extension, which I hope will take him to his retirement. 45 grand a week on a lower squad role. Will Smallbone has also signed a new 1-year extension. A slight increase to 35 grand a week, but that's just due to the fact we need him for the squad registration ruling. And Alan St. Maximan, a 2-year extension on a lower wage of 50 grand, and also a lower squad role, knowing that he's going to be more of a rotational piece this season. So I love that from our players, signing lower contract or lower squad role contracts. But as for Kimpembe, I forgot I can't offer him a new deal because he's requested a transfer. So I don't know. I was planning on just keeping him until the end of his contract, but I'm thinking if that's the case, it might be worth just selling him this season and bringing in a new centre-back. I'm not too sure. I'm undecided on Kimpembe yet. But as for Ballard and Hugh Sharp, they will both be sold in this window. So now that the contracts are sorted, we can start looking to shift the players that we no longer want at the club. As I've discussed, Van Dijk is just going to have a million bids coming in for him, all of which are going to be rejected as I want to keep him here. But Kimpembe, I don't know, man. I don't know. I might look to sell him, but I'm honestly not sure. Nathan Teller is going to stay, but for Kimpembe, I don't know what to do. I'm tempted just to sell him rather than letting him walk on a free at the end of the season if he's not going to retire. Well, we've had a loan bid here for Matthew Hodgson, which we will delegate. As for Dom Ballard, I'd rather keep him in England if we can, so I'll turn that down for now. But do you know what, Kimpembe, I'm not going to sell him to Arsenal, but I don't mind sending him to Naples. If they'll give me, I think, 22 million... although we might just have to accept 20 because his deal is up at the end of the season. I'm not sure anyone is going to budge on the market valuation of 20 million, but yeah, do you know what? Just accept that. Kimpembe, he had a good season. Was it 1 season or 2 seasons with us? I honestly can't remember. I think it's 2 seasons that he's had with us now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2 seasons, but yeah, I'm happy to let him go. Wow, some big bids coming in here. Connor Cox wanted by Liverpool. No, that's not happening. That's just a ridiculous loan. He's not going to play there, so I'm going to turn that down. Hodgson, we will negotiate the bid from Celta Vigo. I'm happy just to send him to Spain. 25 grand a week, by the way, as an 18-year-old. That is absolutely insane. There's some interesting bids here. Manchester City wanting to bring in the main man, Sem Stein. But no, in season 1 or 2, I would have accepted that. But we are now a Premier League giant in terms of where we're going to be this season. We're going to be competing at the top with Man City and the rest of the team. So unless I feel the need to sell a player, it's not happening. It's not like season 1, season 2 Southampton, where we had to sell to bigger clubs. We are now the big club. So if we don't want to sell, then we don't have to, as there is a deal going through there with Presnel Kimpembe departing the club. 2 good years at the Saints, but now heading to Napoli to finish out his career in the city of Naples. Yeah, this is a much better loan bid for Connor Cox. Stade Rennais wanting to take the young man to play top flight football. I'm happy to get him out on loan as well. Few more interesting bids here as Nottingham Forest want to take Ward-Prowse back on loan, but I want to keep him here until he retires, so probably won't play much, but I'm going to turn that down. And also a bid for Kai Vaughan, one of our Youth Academy graduates, just signed a new contract. So, yeah, he's not going to be going anywhere. I still can't get rid of this negotiate with Corbelis, man. This is so frustrating. Yeah, more bids coming through for Taylor, but as I say, not selling the captain. But I quite like this one. Hugh Sharp wanted by the Blades, of course, a team we used last year in our career mode. I'm going to ask for 4.5 million, which I think should be accepted. And Hugh Sharp, a decent young English talent, can play on either wing or through the middle, but we've just got so many players in those wide positions that are better than him, so happy to let him go. As Matthew Hodgson heading out on loan for 2 years to Celta Vigo. Another bid here for Kai Vaughan, this time from the Dutch champions PSV, but again, that's going to be turned down. As for this one from Leicester City for Kamaldeen Sulemana, I'm just going to accept that straight off the bat. But a big bid here for Marcus Leonardo, Atalanta wanting to take the Brazilian, but no, I said he's not going anywhere this year. The Brazilian is off limits. Another sale going through, this time it's a permanent one as Hugh Sharp departs the club for 4.5 million, heading to the Blades. He's developed okay out on loan, but as I say, we've got much better players in those wide areas. Another big bid here for Tino Livramento, this time from Newcastle. His former team wanting to sign him again and offering Yildiz, who is a good young Turkish winger, but I'm going to be turning that down. Tino's not going anywhere as he's up to 86 overall. But there is a player at Newcastle that I did want to bring in. We've got an absolutely huge transfer budget of almost £250 million, and we've discussed bringing in a real quality star couple of players to the lineup, and this man is one of the best in the business. Eduardo Camavinga, 90 overall, can play, of course, centre mid, CDM, and can fill in at left back as well. And to be honest, with his stats, he could play absolutely anywhere. His physicals are just perfect. I love the 98 stamina, which means he barely misses a game. He's quick, he's strong, he's agile, he's got brilliant mental stats as well, and physically almost perfect across the board as well. Eduardo Camavinga is going to, in a couple of years' time in real life, be one of the best players in world football, if he's not already when he is fit and firing. Currently at Newcastle, where we've done quite a lot of business already, signing Livramento, we sent Fernandez there. I'm sure there's been a couple of other deals as well. I'm not sure if his contract's up at the end of the season, but if we can get him close to that market valuation, it will be a brilliant pickup. Yeah, not that I really think it's going to compound the transfer fee that much. I am going to offer them Ilya Gruev and just see if they're interested in the Bulgarian, because we are trying to get rid of him, but no, they are not, and they want 145 million. Well, do you know what? I'm going to go back in with a market valuation bid of 112. This might take a couple of negotiations, and they are not budging. Going back in again. I think I'm going to go back with my 125 million because the tension bar has not filled, and yeah, I think we can get him for maybe around 130, 127.5, and that is enough. It's a lot of money, but he could have cost us a hell of a lot more. The contract is going to be huge as well, but Camavinga is certainly worth it. Yeah, what a signing that is from Newcastle United. Camavinga joins for 127.5. I actually think, although it's a huge chunk of money, it could have been a lot worse. And looking at this guy's stats, I mean, he is perfect for our system. The only downside I would say at the moment is the 3-star weak foot. But if we can get that up to 4-star, which I think should happen throughout the course of this season, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. He'll replace Flynn Downs in the team, and I'm actually going to flip Yusuf and Diashime and Camavinga so that Eduardo's on the left-hand side of midfield, but still playing the DLP role. I think he is a perfect option for this team. welcome to St Mary's, Eduardo Camavinga. Well, another deal going through here. Kamaldeen Sulemana heading to Leicester, and Connor Cox at the same time heading to Stade Rennais. Probably a step up in his loan career. He's gone to Shamrock Rovers, then to Feyenoord, and now playing in a top 5 European league with Stade Rennais. Kamaldeen Sulemana heading to Leicester. As I say, that's a transfer I could see happening in real life. They reckon we could have got more, but to be honest, I'm quite happy just to get him off the books. We've had another bid for Taylor Harwood-Bellis, which of course will be rejected, and a big bid as well from Napoli for Livramento, but as I say, he is not going anywhere. Another bid for Kai Vaughan. He is highly sought after this summer, but that's going to be turned down. I quite like this bid for Gavin Bazunu as well. Sheffield United, where of course we signed him last year in FC 24 and turned him into one of the world's best. And whilst I'm not against letting him go there for more first team football, he is a brilliant number 2. So yeah, I'm just going to turn that down. He can stay at the club for now, and I don't think he'd drop down to the Championship for first team football. But as for Dom Ballard, a much more realistic bid here. Just because of my OCD, I'm going to try and bring that up to 11.5 million, which should be fine. And Dom Ballard, who's grown into a decent striker for Premier League level, looks as if he's heading to Goodison Park. Well, an interesting bid here for Ilya Gruev, wanted by Liverpool, who finished in 4th place just behind us in the Premier League last year. Not sure how much football he's going to get at Anfield, but if they'll give me 15 million, which Arne Slot says yes to, then they can have the Bulgarian, a decent squad player to have, and maybe that's exactly what Liverpool are looking for. Well, there goes Dom Ballard as well. We've never used him in the save, but as I say, he has developed into a decent Premier League standard striker, so joining Everton, maybe he will be the centre forward they've been looking for. Wow, look at that. Juventus, Champions League runners-up last year, recruiting Cole Palmer for £140 million. And there goes Ilya Gruev as well. So we've almost cleared out everyone that we wanted to sell. A good servant to the club, Ilya Gruev. They reckon we could have got 19 million, but I'm not so sure about that. Wow, Liverpool putting in a bid for Van Dijk. They want him back after we picked him up last year, but I don't know. I think he's transfer listed, isn't he? I don't know. I think I'm going to keep Van Dijk, you know. He's 37 years of age now, but back at Southampton, I think I'm going to keep him here. Liverpool is probably the only team I would ever consider selling him to. He's 81 overall now and declining pretty rapidly, but I like the big man. Even in game, he still plays well. I'd rather keep him. He's got 2 years left on his deal, so yeah, definitely not selling then. Virgil van Dijk will be staying here, even with the really low pace. And he's still got a part to play in this team, man. But Van Dijk is now 37 and Nathan Wood just 75 overall. I would say we definitely need a left centre-back who can step in for Harwood-Bellis when he needs a rest. And I've got exactly the man on my shortlist. He was relegated with Bournemouth last year. They finished bottom of the Premier League. And although he is listed as a left-back, I think that his stats are perfect for a left-sided centre-back. He's 6'4". He's got 93 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. He's got really good jumping and strength, so happy to play him as a central defender with high interceptions. His defending stats are very good as well. Jaden Oosterwolde, I believe is how it's pronounced, relegated with the Cherries last year. He's really, really good and can play on the left-hand side of our defence as a left-back as well. I think we should be able to get him close to that market valuation of 32.5 million, and as a replacement for Kimpembe, the same rating but 5 years younger, I think he is a brilliant pickup. Yeah, this guy is like one of those ultimate team cards that you see as a centre-back with like 90 odd pace. They want Yusuf and Diashime, which is not going to happen, but yeah, he looks fantastic to come in as our replacement for Kimpembe, and they want 47.5 million. Bournemouth, you've just been relegated, lads. You can't be playing hardball here because the player is way too good for the Championship. We're going to have to renegotiate with Iraola. Yeah, they're still holding out for that ridiculous transfer fee, and I just don't think we will have to pay that much. They're still wanting 47.4. Andoni, it's not happening, mate. He's way too good to play at that level. And there we go for 36.5. 4 million over the market valuation. Jadon looks as if he will be returning back to the Premier League and sticking on the South Coast. Yeah, Jadon signs a 5-year, 65 grand a week contract. And yeah, the only real worrying sign with this guy is the 2-star weak foot and 2-star skill moves. But he's going to be playing as a centre-back for me, so I'm not really too concerned. It shouldn't take too long. Oh wow, 54 weeks, so a whole calendar year to convert him to centre-back, even though it is a secondary position. Well, in that case then, I might just work on the weak foot and yeah, just keep him as a left back but play him as a centre back. He'll take Kimpembe's number, and I think he is a brilliant replacement for the Frenchman. Well, we've made it to the Community Shield, where we'll be taking on last year's Premier League winners Chelsea, but we've just been going about our business really well. We've cleared out everyone that we wanted to get rid of, the sort of deadwood players, and we've brought in the real quality that we needed. Eduardo Camavinga, of course, being the main man coming in from Newcastle United, but the signings of Jadon and Zambo Anguissa as well, just to bolster out the squad. And we've still got around £100 million to spend. So yeah, we're certainly not done in the transfer market, and there will be more to come to close out the summer window. But I think to close out today's video, we will jump into the sort of curtain raiser on the new season as we take on Chelsea at Wembley Stadium. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, taking on the Premier League winners here, and of course the Community Shield. Oh, what a bit of skill by Walker Peters. The Community Shield, of course, if you win it, is technically classed as a trophy. If you lose it, then it's a glorified friendly and nobody really cares about it. But it's meant to be sunny. It's the season opener and it is absolutely pissing it down with rain. What a surprise in England. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about the result. It would be nice to get one over on Chelsea heading into the new season, but to be honest, I won't be losing any sleep if we do end up losing. Given away by Reece James to St. Maximin, and he's to the byline. St. Maximin, that's surely a penalty, and the referee says no. Well, we're going to have to go and take a look at that. 5 minutes before the break, Saints fans shouting for a penalty, but nothing given from the referee. Well, we know FC is a simulation game, so they don't get decisions wrong. But for this one, I'm really sure he didn't get a touch on the ball. Oh, well, he does, and that is why you can never really say that the game is wrong, because it has to be right. It's a simulation, and he does come through, and it looks like he fouls St. Maximin, but he gets a touch on the ball. Well, second half underway, and after the penalty shout that wasn't given, that's probably the closest either side has come, and well, it was a refereeing call, so that just goes to show how bad of a game it's been in the rain here at Wembley. But I'd say we've probably just about edged it. We've had more of the ball, we've had more of the territory, but still waiting for a real clear-cut opening as Yusuf finds Marcus Leonardo, and there is our opening. And you only need to give this man half a yard, and his finishing is so deadly, he will find the back of the net. Marcus Leonardo starts the new campaign off with a goal. And as I said at the end of last season, he is coming for that golden boot this year. 15 to play. Chelsea still looking for an equaliser, and they've had a good spell of possession. And there's Nicholas Jackson on the spin, and Muric manages to turn it away. It's kept in by Nico Williams, who swings the cross in. And Yusuf did really well to win the header. But yeah, not too much longer to play. Just 10 on the clock as we look to see this out. And Cam gets away from Tosin. And Cam to seal it. And Bergstrom does well to spread his body. Here's Cole making his debut for the team today. And Cole, who looks so deadly. There is Zambo Anguissa, who strikes towards Bergstrom, and it will drop behind for the corner. We look set to see this out here as Cole goes short to Kudus. And Kudus onto his left peg, bends one. And again, Bergstrom is equal to it. But that is going to do it. Not the greatest of games on a rainy day in London. But Southampton do kick off the season with a victory over rivals Chelsea. And we will lift the Community Shield to raise the curtain on the new season. And it's happened again, guys. That's going to do it for today's episode. We're not winning the Premier League trophy. It's the Community Shield, but for the second time, we lift the Premier League trophy when we've not won it. Hopefully, we will get our hands on it come the end of the season. The signings of Camavinga and Jadon Oosterwolde alongside Zambo Anguissa will help boost the squad depth and the quality and depth this season. But we'll be back in the next episode to close out the summer transfer window and kickstart the beginning of Season 5. I hope you have enjoyed, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. Peace.